Good morning, and welcome to this morning. I would say Brenda Perryman show, but Brenda's been here. Richard, I hope Richard gets well soon. I have a great morning for you. I have Jessica Care Moore and her son King Moore. They're going to be on my second segment. But first, on my first segment, I have two people who have ventured off where everybody needs to go. And they're from Journey, an organization called Journey. And I have Camille Johnson and Richard Grundy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, speak on up into the mic. Let projection
Get
be your life.
comfortable.
Yeah, might as well. But maybe I already got some background on you, but let's first tell everybody what Journey is.
Okay, awesome. Journey is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to decentralizing access for technology for all Detroiters. So, right now, for us, that looks like providing youth in the city with coding skills, web development skills, entrepreneurship training, and mentorship, with the idea that introducing them to these skills and these opportunities early will really set them on a high trajectory to enter the new tech ecosystem and to really become a part of this city as it redevelops and grows.
Wow. So it's youth.
Yes.
Youth, because every time you look, everybody says go to your website, go to your computer, this is assuming everybody has a computer or has access through their phones to wireless. Richard, now in the company, what is your position?
Well, I'm the one of the co-founders, the CEO, and also the lead instructor. So I'm actually the lucky one that gets to spend most of my time with the youth, instructing them throughout the day.
Wow. Well, and I think that is good. Young people, because I devoted my life to young people, my past life. And I
Yep.
still do it. I still do it, though. I still do it. So let's go back and like dig in to where you all came from and how you started this. Okay, you went to Renaissance, right?
Yes.
And then,
I went to Renaissance and I went to the University of Michigan after. And it's actually interesting because in high school, I thought I wanted to be a computer engineer. And when I went to talk to my counselors, they were like, well, one, we don't really have classes for that. But two, I don't think you want to do that. You don't really have experience with it. And so I kind of backed away.
you're kidding.
No, they were like, well, do you like breaking down computers? I'm like, no. They're like, great, then you don't want to be a computer engineer. And so that was my first kind of interaction with not really having access to some type of class or skill that I really wanted to have. And so after college, I did a bit of work in nonprofits. And when I finally was introduced to Journey, it was kind of coming around full circle for me, getting a chance to kind of provide opportunities to youth that I didn't have when I was in high school.
Absolutely. And for someone to tell you to dash your dreams,
Yes.
and that's why I guess I had some success as a teacher because I didn't believe in dashing people's dreams. You should hear some of the things I've heard what people want to do and I said, well, there is a way that could be done, find a way. And Richard, what about you?
So I had an untraditional path also. So I went to Southfield High, graduated from Michigan
Southview.
State, uh, graduated from Michigan State University with a degree in human resources, and that
Really?
was around that time of 2007, 2008. So my first job was in sales and advertising. Wasn't really comfortable with depending on a large corporation for my income at that point. Insurance plans were going down, 401k plans were changing,
Yeah.
pensions were disappearing. So I wanted some type of skill set that I owned that I could depend on, so I could depend on my own income. So I took all my savings, packed up, and moved to New York to go through to a 3 month coding boot camp.
Really?
Yeah, it was very rewarding, but very intense, challenging academic experience. But what I got from that, I was introduced to an extremely welcoming community in New York as far as technology goes. And I was introduced to different types of businesses or companies that wanted my skill set of a technical background, but also a client-facing background. Um, Technology, that skill set is something that you can combine with anything else, and it enhances you.
I see. Yeah.
Um, so
Even with theater.
absolutely,
Even with, I mean, the plays and things on Broadway now, some of them use technology all
absolutely.
through the
Hmm.
show.
Yeah, yeah. So marketing everything. So my first position, I did a lot of volunteering, just to reinforce my technical background in New York. in Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, everywhere.
What part of Queens?
Um, what part of Queens was that? I'm not sure. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
Springfield. Well, okay, I know Jamaica and
It
my
was Jamaica. It was close to JFK. Yeah, JFK.
and my nephew lives in Springfield Gardens. In fact, my brother did, and I know New York like the back
Yeah,
of my hand. I
awesome.
know it. I know it. I know
New
it.
York is an awesome place.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it prepares people, really. So, anyway, so you were in New York. You did you
I was
volunteered.
volunteering a lot, and for the first time in my life, I found something that I enjoy doing, which was introducing introducing other people to technology.
Right, right, right.
Eventually, I got a position with a minority-owned software development company that was based out of DC.
Okay.
Based out of DC, but it was three things that I want. Three reasons why I wanted to work for them. One, they were opening up a satellite office in New York, so I wanted to learn how to run a business, open a business. Um, they were work
So they showed you how to do a business plan and
that
stuff?
when you work for a startup, you're just kind of thrown into
Okay.
that. You're just kind of thrown into all different parts. So I was working with the technical team. I was bringing in new clients. It was a lot of different things that was thrown into. So that was an awesome experience. The second part was that they were teaching kids how to code in DC, which is something I knew I wanted to do in Detroit.
Now, coding, let's talk about that. It's more than just knowing how to work the computer and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Tell the audience what. Oh, you better do
Okay.
it.
Well, with software development, there's a lot of different parts to it. You don't just have to be a coder. You don't just have to be the one that's typing on the computer building a
Right,
website. You can
right.
be the one that's actually coming up with the idea. You can be a business analyst. You can actually collect the features from the client. There's a lot of different things. You can test the application. So there's a lot of different roles within software development, and we learn all of those different roles, and that's something that we're
So that means if I learn to code, my skills will be what?
You'll be able to start your own business. You'll know how to do customer interviews. You'll know how to do projects management. So it's more than just creating a website or creating an application. You really have a full skill set that can take you anywhere because we also understand, not everyone that learns how to code will want to code forever, but it's giving you the skills to start your own startup because you learn how to do kind of everything within that chain.
That's great.
absolutely, and that's something that we're clear to communicate to our students that they understand every step of the process and every role within software development. In case they don't just want to be the web developer.
Yeah, because I've been hearing about coding. I said it has to be much more than just learning how to
Yes.
build a
Absolutely.
website.
Design is a large part of coding, and that comes
Oh,
before you
really?
even get to the point of actually coding. And all of these roles,
Do you know
they
people
pay
are
pretty
looking
good.
for designers? I mean, just
Yeah.
designers. Because on Facebook, a lot of times I see, does anyone know a designer I could get for, their
Yeah.
business?
And that's one of the things that we're really committed to as well. Something that we're going to start this year is an in house development shop that will allow us to employ some of our students, but also provide those web design and development products for minority owned businesses in the city.
Now, are these workshops or class? How does this work?
Right now, we do classes. So we have three different models: an after school model, an in school elective, and then a summer program,
An
which is really
in-school
exciting.
elective.
Yes, right now we're
So
teaching an in school class at Mumford High School with 15 freshman boys. It's super exciting. We started in January. So we were excited to get into schools. We thought it would only be able to be after school. So to get right in there and really provide an elective that gives them high school credits that go towards their graduation and provides them with that in school experience has been really cool.
wow, that's great. So after school, in school, and what's the summer? Okay, what ages?
Right now, 11 to 24. So
Oh,
a pretty
that's a
widespread.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a good age because these young people, 11 years old, 10 and 11 years old, know how to at least
Absolutely. My first hackathon
hackathon.
was for Black Enterprise, and we won the award, the hackathon, and the
Now
best
tell
program.
everybody what a hackathon is because you know what they hacking my computer.
A
Yeah.
hackathon is a contest where a bunch of developers or a bunch of problem solvers get together in different roles, and we look at one challenge in the community or several challenges in the community, and we come up with some type of solution for that. And there's different teams, so everybody breaks up into different teams, and whoever comes up with the best solution, which usually is a digital solution, wins a hackathon.
Yeah, because hack doesn't have a positive connotation.
Typically, it doesn't, but I think most Detroiters are hackers. Most Detroiters, we're very resourceful, we're very creative, and we find
Yeah.
a way to solve problems and get from point A to point B, however we have to get there, even if it's the untraditional way.
Don't you? And we do that as a people anyway.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
get there some kind of
Yeah.
way. We find a way. We are used to innovating. And,
Absolutely.
oh my God, improvisation and
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
things done. Oh, we have a call. Good morning. Hello? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Brenda. This is Chris.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. I see you got the crew from Journey down there.
Yes, you know about Journey?
Hey, you asked that guy about me. That's my good buddy.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't make it to
you
the gym this morning.
Well, I'm sure Chris didn't either. You didn't make it this morning, did you, Chris?
no, I didn't make it this morning. I didn't make it this morning, but I wanted to just talk about the impact Journey has been having, with a lot of youth. My niece in particular, she was fortunate enough to go through a program that they spearheaded last summer, and she came out of that program with an immense amount of knowledge on coding. She had a website she had designed, and more than anything, her confidence with regard to just coding and programming and understanding the whole process around generating a website, and it was just phenomenal. And I'm indebted to the Journey family, so I'm even thinking about learning a little bit of code myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Love
that's
to have you,
great.
Chris.
Yeah.
Me too. Um, Chris and I talked so long. We talked on the phone for an hour yesterday. So, I mean, he's my
Yeah.
good friend
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
And
I,
did you know Richard went to Southfield High?
no, I didn't know. I didn't know Rich went to Southfield High. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were
Awesome.
you just saying yesterday? Everywhere we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. But Rich is a great guy, and I just wanted to call in and give a shout out to the great work that they're doing over there, and just wish you guys a good morning.
Thank you
Well,
so
thank
much, Chris.
you.
I'll talk
Okay.
with you later.
All
Okay.
right. Talk with you guys later.
Bye.
That's
Bye
interesting.
bye.
So Chris's niece, London, was actually an awesome
Yeah.
student, and she's going to be interning for us this summer.
Oh, that's great because Chris told me about her.
Yeah.
Told me we had a discussion about her. God, this is a
I
small
know.
world, Detroit.
It is.
Detroit is about that big.
Yeah.
It's still like a small town in a big city. I say that all the time, and
Yeah,
everyone knows everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's no 6 degrees of separation.
It's like two,
Yeah.
maybe
At the
one.
most, at the most. But I mean, after what? Okay, she will be interning with you
Yeah.
this summer. So, what are her skills? Are what now?
So she came into our program with a skill set of design. She's a designer. She's a very creative person and an artist. What we did was that we just taught her the technical background, gave her a technical skill set to be able to build
Right.
websites. The next phase of the other thing that we didn't talk about is that we bring in mentors for all of our different programs.
Oh, okay.
So we'll bring in designers to speak to our students. We'll bring in business analysts, project managers, entrepreneurs who don't know how to code but who have leveraged technology. And then we have all of our students present throughout the course. Everybody has
That's
to teach.
excellent. That's
Yeah.
excellent. That's excellent because we have to know. They have to know how to communicate what they're doing
Absolutely.
to people. I mean, regardless, you need to be able to communicate in the workplace, or if you're going to do your own startup, whatever, you have to be able to communicate.
Absolutely. So we do that so that you reinforce what you're learning. But at Mumford, what we're starting to do is that we're looking, and even at Hamilton Academy, we're looking at how we can reinforce some of the other subjects within their class schedule. Also, and incorporate that into our programs.
We have another call. Good morning. Hello? Good morning. Oh, I guess I don't know. It's the ghost in the machine. Um, I feel so like left out because what if I wanted to learn to code? Where do I go?
There's actually a really amazing organization called Sisters Code. It was started by Marlon Williams a
Oh,
few years
yes.
ago, and
Uh-huh.
they teach women ages 25 to 85 to code. And so it's a really exciting
Uh,
program. They do weekend workshops.
here's the call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, and to your guests.
Hi.
Um,
Good morning.
your program sounds very, very exciting and helps, I think, a lot of people find some security in their future because, as you know, the regular methods and type of jobs are on their way out. Um, I want to ask the gentleman there and the young lady, yes, um, what do you think is the downside of this new media, high technological world? Um, I can think of a couple. First of all, malls are closing, big ticket or big stores are closing because of technology. Understand that hundreds of thousands of jobs have been eliminated because of technology. So it seems like it's a two-edged sword. Which do you think will prevail? And also, have you heard of the singularity?
The what?
So that's more questions.
Singularity. What? I think I might have missed that part.
The singularity, where human technology and machine technology is supposed to merge into
Yeah.
one kind of
Golly, look at all the call.
cyberborg, where the machine technology is going to take over human beings. That's the fear.
Uh, well, it's already taken over some jobs, but we're going to go on and
I'll
answer your
listen off the
qu-
air because I can't hear on the phone too much.
Okay, Thomas, thank you.
Yeah. So, in terms of jobs leaving because of technology, I think that's honestly just part of innovation. I think the only thing that we can do is prepare ourselves and educate ourselves about technology, and look at how industries are going to change. I kind of look at how we talk a lot about manufacturing jobs. Um, and how we want to increase manufacturing jobs, and we want to get back to that. But I think that our community, what we need to be very intentional about, is educating ourselves in technology fields, because we're not going to be able to depend on large corporations. That's just my opinion. I think
Absolutely.
that there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of robotics. There's going to be a lot of artificial intelligence that takes over a lot of jobs, and what we need to do is look at how we can program for those jobs, and get involved that
And
way.
what I noticed, well, I mean, history tells you
Yeah.
at one point people were putting horseshoes on horses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the horseless carriage came, and things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things don't stay the same. We have another call. Good morning.
Hi, Miss Perryman.
Hi, 6-4.
To your guests,
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Hello.
I think what you guys are offering and doing is an amazing thing. And often our children don't get into the technological side of things, and the world passes them up because they're so busy on the lame side of social media.
That's the
Like
that's
they know how to download apps, Miss Perryman, but they don't know how to fill out applications. So
right,
I
and
think
they
that
don't
what
know
you
how to.
guys
They should learn how to create apps.
Well, one of the biggest downfalls to the lame side of social media that I'm noticing is that you don't have to recreate accounts to get accounts. So that's
Right.
preventing you from reading and actually going through the notion of putting your name, birthday, address, and all of that, because they say, well, if you want an account with us, just link your account. So you no longer have to go into the creation of an account.
Well,
Another thing, when the brother talked about the human and the machine, they got a technology out now, Miss Perryman, where you could put a chip in your head and it will coincide with your phone.
Mm.
Really?
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that was on the news about 2 weeks ago. They got these chips they can put in your head, and it operates as phones, whatever you need. And I said, wow,
What?
welcome to the
I'm
new
s-
world
that's
order.
very
This is the
sci-fi.
order of the day. But here's my question. What I would like to see maybe is not so much of a question, but a statement. It's something that I've been trying over the last 10 years.
okay, hurry, hurry, 6'4".
What is stopping us from introducing this technology to the middle school, the elementary school?
Well, they are learn.
We're actually in Hamilton Academy Middle School, so we're in the middle school. There's nothing stopping us other than us taking the initiative to get these
Yeah.
programs put into these
Absolutely.
different
And there are a lot. Oh,
schools.
sorry. And
No,
there are a lot of national initiatives that are looking to see how can we really put computer science in K through 12. So a really good example is San Francisco. The San Francisco School Board, I think 2 or 3 years ago, passed a policy saying that every single grade had to have some type of interface with computer science because it really does start young. Studies show that
Yes,
4 and 5 STEM majors in college were introduced in high school or earlier. And so the question is, how can we kind of take what we're seeing in other cities and map it onto our city?
absolutely. Well, we have
Thanks
one
for
more
thinking about that.
call. Thanks, 6'4". Right. Good morning.
Yes, quickly, could they make sure they give us the phone numbers and contacts for the coding training for
Oh,
the elderly as well as the Journey program so that I can share it with other people, with the seniors and the youth?
thank you,
Thank you.
Sylvia. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, and that's what you were telling me about if I wanted to learn to code.
Yes. So the organization for older women is Sisters Code. It's really awesome. Right now, I think they do workshops about twice a month. So they're 2 full days. And what happens is you kind of all get together in a room, you listen to music, you learn how to code, and it's really like a good first step. And I'm pretty sure their website is sisterscode.org.
Yeah,
But you can also find them on Facebook. Just search Sisters Code, and their page will pop right up with all that
right.
information.
And
our phone number, I just had to look the phone number because I never call myself. It's 313-389-6124. So that's the Journey phone number. Our website is journey.org, and
that's
that's
JOURNI.
Yes.
.org. Absolutely. And then the third part is that we're also going to start holding and hosting adult code ramp classes also. So we're going to start doing intro to coding
Well, keep
classes for
us
adults.
informed
Definitely.
because I have two other shows. Keep us informed. We could do this. We have a quick. Let's take this last quick call. Good morning.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
I wanted to ask your guest. You talked about, and I'm sure you don't have time for this. Maybe they can touch on it briefly. But you talked about the horseshoe and how things evolve. Okay, now we're in the phase of coding. What do they see as the next big advancement in technology or the future? What is the future?
I think artificial
I was
intelligence is
just
the
about to
next.
say
Yeah,
that.
artificial intelligence is the next advancement. I think in technology, and what that means is just a computer making decisions on its own, based on data, based on previous data, and getting better and getting smarter over time based on your interactions and behaviors.
All
But
right.
listen, those computers still need developers. They
Yep.
still need people to work those machinery and that technology. So don't forget about that also. But then we're gonna have a lot of people talking about some of those technologies at Tech Equity Week too, right?
Yes. So something that
When is Tech Equity Week?
Tech Equity Week is April 20th to April 30th. It's going to be 9 events over a 10-day span that are really looking at how we can create Detroit as a national model for tech equity and inclusion. A big argument and problem in the tech industry nationally is that it's not inclusive, it's not very diverse, and it's not really, as we like to call it, culturally competent. We don't really create opportunities that like showcase and support the perspectives and unique experiences of Black and Brown people. So Tech Equity Week is going to have different forums and workshops that really bring Detroiters together to talk about cool things that are happening in the city with technology, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening that we don't even know about.
Well, I know, and so I'm going to have you back. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yes. We're
I
happy
do.
to come.
I'm
Awesome.
going to have to. I need card.
Okay.
You had another. Hello.
No, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Well, this was great. This was
It's awesome.
great. I mean, people, well, we have to stay up with technology anyway. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Yep.
I have two computers.
Hmm.
Well, I'm a writer, so
Yeah.
that's what I use it for. I don't use it for all the designs and stuff like that. But wow, this is great.
Awesome. Thank you for
Well,
having
thank you
me.
so
Oh,
much.
my pleasure. Good to
Good.
see you
Good to see you
again. My
too.
God. We have Jessica Care Moore on next. Stay tuned. And King Moore. This genius, I just saw him playing the violin yesterday on a recital. But we'll be back in just a moment. I am back. I am back. I am back. I'm back with two people that I greatly admire. Jessica, well, let's just introduce them. Jessica Care Moore, the great international poet
Hello.
who's based in Detroit, born in Detroit, rooted in Detroit, and her son,
King.
King, King Moore, who has written a book.
Yes.
And I'm so excited about that. And this picture is, who took that picture?
I forgot the sister, Anis, it was Anistique Photography. She's the
Oh, I
in-house.
know her. Yeah.
Yeah, connect. She's the in-house photographer at the Charles H. Wright Museum. So
Okay,
that
put.
was during Concert of Colors with Mike E's show,
Uh-huh.
Afroflow. So he was a
Wow.
guest with he drummed during that show and he did poetry. So shout out
Wow.
to Mike E, my brother.
Jessica
Yeah.
is, well, Jessica knows this. So,
Yes.
Jessica, you don't have to have that on me.
Okay, got
You can
you.
put it on you and King.
Okay.
Um, I read about Jessica the first time I was on an airplane. I
Really?
was uh, I was on a Total U tour with Sister Soldier and so forth,
Oh
and I was
man.
doing poetry on the tour, and I read about this poet who lived in New York with
Wow.
a More Black Press,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And I said, wow. And I found out she was from Detroit. I
That's
said, I did
right.
not know. Then
Yeah.
a couple of years later, I met her sister, and her sister's Lisa Moore, and she said, my sister's a poet, Jessica Caramore. I said, you know how to get to Jessica
That's
Caramore.
so funny.
Yes.
And you were there. You were at. I don't know. King will not remember this, but you were at my one of my three baby showers in honor of your coming. Was in
Yes.
Detroit. One of them was in Detroit, and Miss Perryman was there.
Yes. I think it was at your mom's
It was at my
house.
mom's house at the time. I wore it. Yep.
Yeah. So I knew you before you knew yourself.
Basically, right?
Okay, let's talk
So yes,
about well,
there's a
well,
lot
in
going
case
on.
people don't know, and she's been in and out of town so much,
Yes.
and she does Black Woman Rock.
Black Women Rock.
She's
Yes.
the
Executive producer and founder of Black Women
founder.
Rock. We're annual at the Charles H. Wright. We just had a spectacular 13th year. I've been doing that for 13 years now.
I
And
know.
those women came and tore down the house. My sister Navasha Dea came from the Baltimore area, and Zakia Harris from Oakland, and my sister Tema Kali
I did not know
from
you.
New York City. And oh yeah, there I'm videotaping myself. And Black Women Rock, we had Renee Ali, the sister who was tapping with Tapology. We had Flint in the house,
Yeah.
and so last year was such a great show. It was such a great lineup. It was so powerful that I was almost gonna just say, oh, I'll do something else. And I was kind of gonna move on. And then I got inspired, and I started talking to these other women. I said, no, I have to continue to do this work. Um, that I've been doing. I've been building this institution around that supports Black women who play rock and roll music, who play independent women who find ways to make a living outside the box, who've worked in what people consider mainstream outlets, but also find ways independently to make a living and do non-traditional things in order to like make sure people know who they are when they can't get on the radio every 5 minutes. And and with satellite and college radio and other outlets, internet, people like you, it's been more easier for independent artists like myself
Well, I've
in order to make a
noticed through the
living.
years you've gotten more exposure and
Yeah.
all of that, so that is
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, just just more money. I'm cool. I don't need any more exposure. We just need more checks,
I know.
know.
Oh, I know what you mean. I
But
know what you
it's
mean.
been an incredible journey to be a poet inside of a independent rock and roll movement is a blessing, and I'm honored that these women have come every year to Detroit. We headlined the Women of the World Festival at the Apollo Theater a few years ago. That was amazing. We had Joy on that show, and Yazara and Reese and Stephanie Christian, who's a rock and roll queen right out of Detroit, and brought some of those DJ Stacey Howax Hale came and Cecilia Sharp and Ashley Nelson, sisters who are urban strings here in Detroit. I got to fly them to New York City. So it's nice to be able to bring your people
Right,
with you
right,
to other
right,
places.
right.
So we need a tour for that. We're working, eventually on corporate sponsorship and all that good stuff. But my focus right now is I have a lot of projects in the works. So a new book, fifth book coming out. We Want Our Bodies Back will be out sometime later this year, if not the summer. I'm putting out another author, Brad Walron out of New York. I was kind of taking a break on publishing, but he's a really amazing poet and good friend for many years, and the manuscript is just too strong for me to ignore. So, gonna push his book out, Everywhere Alien. But my focus right now is my son, and
Right.
he's got an amazing project. He's the youngest Night Arts Foundation winner in history.
Yes, I
Yes, for
know.
his 12 and under super cool poetry open mic, so he could talk more
Well, yeah,
about
and
that.
that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But in case the audience didn't know, I wanted you to
Okay.
say this: a piece of a poem, which is peace, Peace. And there's something in here I read, King, and it says, "I thought the future was supposed to be better than the past." That just blew me away. Why
Yeah.
don't you talk about it? What made you say that?
Just at that time there was stuff happening, like
Speak up a little louder.
people were trying to plan wars.
Yeah, there
So
still are.
yeah, so
Yes,
I just talked about it.
right. Um, what it were you inspired to write by your mom's writing?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is just so tremendous. And when you got that Knights Fellowship, isn't it the Knights Foundation?
Yeah, it's actually a
It's a
matching grant
matching
though, so
grant.
he has
That's
to.
what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
It's a matching grant. A matching grant is they'll give you
the money,
money.
but you have to raise the money.
You have to raise the money,
Yes.
and then they'll give you matching money. Right. But what are you doing to do that?
You want to talk about the program and what it is?
The 12 and under super cool poetry open mic. It's
12 and under open mic?
It's
super cool
Super cool.
poetry open mic.
Poetry
yeah.
open mic. Okay, now that's great. Now, when do you plan to do this?
Well, we recently had it.
Good cakes and bakes.
Good Cakes and Bakes. March 25th, I think.
Yeah, we just did one.
He just did a fundraiser.
Yeah, it wasn't that one was just he's been doing the open mic, so he's already doing the open mic. The Night Arts Challenge, the $15,000 is for the full program. So
Yes.
when King first did his first reading at the Jazz Cafe, he noticed there weren't kids in the audience, and he asked me about creating, how do we create an event that has kids in it and not just all these grown-ups. And so that's how it began. And I said, well, if you got to come up with a name, and so he came up with the name, and I invited my friends with children to come out, and mommy got in the horn, and he started to host this event. So he's been doing the event. We did it at the Sidewalk Festival this summer. We've
Yes.
done it twice now at Good Cakes and Bakes, and April's a great owner over there. It's a great, beautiful, child-friendly space, and we buy ice cream for the kids, and we're just trying to fill the void. And King, I'm helping him out because I know he's sleepy. But the $15,000 is to help. We've partnered with the Motown Museum, and so we're
Yes.
gonna hopefully if we raise the money this month, we'll be able to start doing workshops at the Motown Museum
Oh,
to
that's
do the workshop for the
fabulous.
kids. So that what happened when the kids came out the first time? You want to tell
Well,
Miss Perryman? You got
they
it.
didn't have poems ready to perform,
Oh,
so I mostly read.
yours.
Yeah. So how do we fix that?
The next time, the next open mic, my mom had a book of poems for kids, and they read and sang and danced and stuff.
Oh, well, that was fun. Well, we have a call.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hello.
Thomas. Again, I thought I'd call in this next exciting segment. Um, to your guest, the young lady there, she looks like Alicia Keys. You probably heard of that before.
Alicia looks like me a little, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love
I
it.
was on TV first.
That
So we're
sounds
clear.
like a response from a poet. That's
Yeah, no,
great.
I
That's
mean,
great.
that we've heard that. We both have heard it. We have a lot of mutual friends, and I love Alicia, and that's my tribal sister, no doubt.
Because Jessica
That's
won
great. I want to ask the young
Showtime at the Apollo, didn't you?
brother there.
Of course.
Okay.
He wants to ask.
Ask
You
you a
want to ask
question.
King a question?
You gotta talk
Yes.
real loud in that mic.
I know all of us have been inundated with the N word. And that being said, I don't know if he's knowledgeable enough to know what a lot of scholars have said the origins of this word come from. In Ethiopia, where it's revered as it's used as a word to revere people of outstanding character and so and so. I think I've always had a mission to try to get to the core of that word so that we can take the negativity out of it. So, youngster, if you get into it, maybe you can write something for us. Or the
He
mother.
don't use that word in his
We,
poems.
he doesn't use that word in his poems. Thank you. Thanks, Thomas. Um, I'd like you to read one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one is your favorite?
Probably King.
Is that the?
The back of the book.
You can use yours.
Here it is.
Okay.
This is the title is King. Now, loud and clear.
Yep.
Okay.
King. I know my mom and dad named me that for a reason, but I just don't know why. While I'm trying to find out, my brain hurts from the pressure. King. People say it's a person that rules someone and lives in a kingdom and is fancy, but I don't think that. I think a king is someone that is kind, not someone that rules someone. Wearing a crown, sitting on your throne, calling your butler, when really that crown is a baseball cap, and that throne is a wooden chair, and your butler is just your friend. On a throne and having a butler doesn't mean you're a king. For you're a king, you help people. You pick people up when they are falling down, and that's the king I want to be.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh,
Thank you.
so simple. I mean, it's because you know how people go around all
Oh.
lofty.
You know what
Lofty.
I do love about King's work, and I told him, the book came out when he was 9. He wrote most of these pieces. He's going to be 11 in September, and it wasn't because I was his mom. It's because he'd been writing these really amazing poems in his book, and he'd been asked to do a reading with Fluent at the Jazz Cafe to open up. I said, well, I could put this collection of in a chapbook. That's what
Right.
young poets as they start. But it's because of his introspective and the way that he was looking at the world. I found it very interesting and exciting for a person that young to be as introspective as he was, like inside out, really writing. And then people have asked me, is it his poetry? I'm, oh yeah. I don't write the way he writes. He's very different kind of writer than I am. And I probably more how I was when I was 9 or 10, though.
Right.
And I developed my voice as a woman as I became one. And so I love how his work, he really does question what's happening in the world. And
And that's important.
yeah.
I'll never forget when my grandson was 5. He was in
Yeah.
kindergarten. And it was around Martin Luther King Day. And so they were showing Martin Luther King's speeches.
Right.
And I picked him up from school, and he said he saw a movie, and Martin Luther King was mad at the people. He said
Mm-mm-mm.
mad because, you
That's right.
project on the
Because they think
speech.
that's mad.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I want him to read Butterfly.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Because I want him to read
I
Butterfly.
like
Tell the
Butterfly.
audience why you wrote Butterfly.
Oh, I know. It's like
I read it from my mom because when I
in
was
the mic.
7 years old, I said my mom raised me and she is the greatest chance for me to become a great man. So I wrote a poem for her.
Oh, yes. Would you read it to the audience, and then I'll take the call?
Okay. My mom reminds me of a butterfly flying to the south during the winter.
Mm.
My mom reminds me of a star always glowing in the sky. Some people may not see it, and some people might, but I know that it's there.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I mean, didn't that just warm your heart?
I
Did
was
you have
done. I
tears?
was on the road when he wrote that, because I have to leave and go
Right.
make a living and come back to Detroit. And so,
Weren't
yeah,
you overseas with Habiba?
I was
Habiba?
not. No. Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I was on the road. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, her
yeah.
son. Yeah, in Shanghai. She
Right.
she
And
met
she,
us out there.
right, right.
Her son Dana's the promoter who
She,
brought myself. And you should talk about your experience in Shanghai, sir. King got to do a reading over there and a book signing. So that was an
really.
amazing international experience that he's had. Yeah, I think that was really interesting for
And
him.
if you want to call, I'm going to answer this call. Call us at 313-868-0342 or 868-4336. Good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Hi. I just wanted to call in because this segment is really near and dear to me because I started writing um, when I was 12 years old.
Oh, you
So
did?
yeah, it just really touches me because that's when I got my start. And I actually when I was 13, I won a contest with McDonald's to perform at the music hall, and I
Really?
Oh,
opened up for Jessica
yeah, I
Campbell and
hosted.
Talib Kweli.
Yeah, I hosted. Yeah, I performed at that concert. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you. You might remember me. I started the show off with a poem.
Okay, yep. That's it. That was a minute ago.
Yeah,
That was like 2011,
that was like '08.
2011 maybe?
It was no, it was like '08. I was 13.
Okay. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
I've done
so
a lot of shows, and then since then, Talib, I'm on Talib's label now. He put my album out in 2015, my jazz soul
Right.
project, Black Tea, The Legend of Jesse James. Y'all need to go get that if you don't
okay,
have it. It's on
I
iTunes, Apple
do. I do.
Music.
What's it called?
Black Tea, The Legend of Jesse James. It's everywhere you can find
Black
music.
Tea, The Legend
Black
of Jesse
tea,
The
James. Okay.
Legend, yeah,
Yeah,
like Lipton.
I'm just
yeah.
noticing a lot of synchronicities in my life because I actually just did a I've been getting back into the poetry circuit recently, and I just wanted to encourage the king. Keep going. Don't have any gap in between you and expressing yourself and making your craft better because that's one thing that I wish I would have did was kept going with my craft, and I'm continuing to let it flourish now. But I wish I would have, never had that break. So always just keep going and stay persistent, and
That's
you'll keep growing.
That's
Thank you.
So
thanks.
where's the 12 and under thing gonna be at? I want to bring my niece.
Oh, I will look. So you can go to supercoolpoetry.com. That's where we'll have the next one listed. We just finished doing one, and right now we're fundraising. We have an Indiegogo campaign to raise the $15,000 to match his grant, so that we can start. Because we want to do not just the open mic, but we want to do a workshop series. And so I'm going to be
Right.
facilitating that along with other poets. I'll be bringing in to facilitate, so the kids are really equipped. So when they show up to the open mic, that they're strong. That King can do a great job of hosting. That the open mics can be strong. Presentations from all the poets that are there. And then we're going to have a large culminating performance. So go to supercoolpoetry.com. You can email
Okay.
us at supercoolpoetry@gmail.com. And we will make sure that you
Okay.
are on our list so that you can bring your niece out. And anyone can come. We always stress that 12 and under is for the mic, but anyone can come out and
Right,
support.
right, right,
Yeah, it's
right.
all
Okay.
ages for
And
sure.
I'd like to get involved with the workshop. Definitely.
Okay. So please, no, email us, please. We need workshop facilitators.
Say that email address one
Okay.
more time.
It's
Yeah.
supercoolpoetry@gmail.com. Just one word. And then
Super cool poetry at
supercoolpoetry,
Gmail.
yep, at Gmail or supercoolpoetry.com. And
Okay.
you can get to us. And yeah, we're gonna be having we're trying to right now we've done a 30-day campaign. We're
I
gonna
did.
match this grant real quick, get this money, and so that we can get the money to do the program, so we can give the kids who in the program super cool T-shirts and stickers and notebooks, and we want to give them, we want to give them all kinds of literacy swag, and so
Right.
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, to make it as
Definitely. That's how
cool
you
as
change. That's how
possible,
you
but while
change
they're
the
learning how
culture.
to become, like you said, better poets.
Right. All right. Well, I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Now, is
Peace.
there a poem
Yeah.
in there you'd like him to?
Well, I think he wanted to read that.
I want to
Okay.
read One Piece.
One Piece, Piece
Yeah,
this
you
time.
can read that part too.
This poem is dedicated to people struggling with self-love.
Okay.
Solving that puzzle, making every piece count. Every moment in your life is a piece of a puzzle. So make every piece go in the right place. Or that one thing, one action, one piece will disappear. Looking for that moment night and day. Still can't. Then you give up. You start over, and just because of that one piece, your body changes, your mood changes, and most of all, your heart changes.
Wow.
Digging deeper in your brain, trying to remember what you've forgotten, but it was there the whole time. You just wanted to pass that moment, pass that thought, but you can't. All along, it was your heart feeling the pain, just because of that one piece. But you didn't lose that piece, you just never thought about it. You never thought about that one piece.
Wow.
That's so
That's so
beautiful.
true. But
Yes.
that's so true. People never think about
Yeah.
it. Some people and they drift along
Mm.
not loving themselves.
Yeah.
And if you don't love yourself, you can't honestly love other people.
Right.
I mean, and give them the love that they're supposed to have. It's how did you
I
know?
know. That's a,
How did you know that?
I was wondering, like, when you wrote that, do you remember what inspired that?
No,
It was a while ago.
like, there was a boy in my school named Christian, and he didn't like himself,
All right.
and he, like, wanted to do suicide and stuff.
Oh, and that's because he just didn't value his life. Now, I have a question. I have a question. When you get 13, what,
What are
what,
we gonna do?
yeah, what,
We'll have to expand and let somebody
yeah,
else take over. I mean, I think by 13, King will be a probably workshop facilitator at that point.
right. And
Yeah, he'll be teaching.
also, he can take it up to the next level of young people.
Absolutely.
You know,
What I want to talk to you about that, King. Can you sit up for a second towards the mic? Talk about the teenager thing in your event. Why you thought it was important to have people who weren't teenagers.
Because
Talk.
teenagers
Right.
teenagers have a lot of programs, and elementary school kids, they don't get a lot of activities out of school to do.
Yeah.
wow.
So he felt like most of the programs were kind of more towards teen. There's lots of like teen poetry events and poetry slams, and they're
Right.
really geared towards more high school and junior high school
But we
kids.
have to start with our young people
Yes.
early. We need to
Yeah.
start early to reinforce and supplement what
Yeah.
they're getting because this country, this
Mhm.
world,
Yeah.
this is everything's global now.
That's right.
And
Yeah, I
and
think
you
that you have to start early, and that by the time he's 13 or 14, he'll just be running Super Cool Poetry. It'll be a program he can run, and he'll have the experience. Learning, teaching him how about budgets and how we're getting money on this campaign, and have to match it and show how we have to pay people for this
so
facilitation. And
how else can people contribute?
they can contribute by going to supercoolpoetry.com, and they'll see the video. There's an Indiegogo campaign that's out there right now. It's on my Facebook, which is Jessica Kier Moore. I'm sharing it on my Instagram, on my Facebook pages. But Super Cool Poetry, the video is there, and the link to the Indiegogo is there. If they wanna, they can also mail us a check. If some people don't like to give money online, we're fine with that.
Yeah.
And so they can actually send a check directly to King Moore Pool, or they can send it to the Just Care More Foundation, which is my nonprofit, and we just give the money to the Knight Foundation once we raise it. And people have been giving us money actually offline. So we have a $15,000 thing online, but even if we don't reach that 15K, we'll probably get about five. We'll get $5,000 hopefully offline, so people can actually. So moreblackpress@gmail.com. That's my press. You can email me directly and say, hey Jessica, we'd like to send a donation for the Super Cool, for King's funding campaign for Super Cool Poetry. Can we send you a check? And you definitely can.
Absolutely. I look at the clock where the time is wrapped up, but I
Okay.
want to say, King, congratulations.
Aw.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. I love this,
Thank you so much
because
for having me.
I'm in drama. None of
Yeah,
my
I know.
kids went into drama. None
Right,
of them
that's
did.
something.
They're dramatic, but
Right,
not
in
into
different
drama. So
ways.
listen, everybody, join me
Yay.
Friday. I have a great show Friday. I have Mary Sheffield on
Oh,
Friday,
yeah,
and I
nice.
have some other people. So I will talk to you then. So we'll see.